Hi, everybody. It's Tim Constantine from the Washington Times, joined by my good buddy for America. He is Dave Bozell. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if you know this, but they had a little election. It's election time, which always makes me scratch my head in the off year, but it was election night this past week, and the Democrats are crowing. They are so excited at the results. All the mainstream media, the Washington Post, the New York Times, they're all crowing. Everyone says this is a repudiation of Donald Trump and his policies. Is it?
Yeah, Republicans were just, this close to winning one of these, or not. They were very, very far away. Winsome Sears, not a very good showing in Virginia, not a very well-run campaign at all. I'm still trying to figure out what it was her platform was supposed to be. Glenn Youngkin did her no favors, having accomplished next to almost nothing in the Commonwealth of Virginia, other than dotting our hillsides with data centers, which has made Virginia rich, I suppose. So good for the Virginia Treasury. Does nothing for me, I might add, but good for the Virginia Treasury. We're wealthier than God here, but she did not run a very good campaign at all. New Jersey thought that would be closer. It wasn't. Mondami, look, I don't see any real policy daylight between Mondami and de Blasio. Okay, I don't know where these two guys would differ on nearly any policy question at all. So in my mind, if this is not a novelty for New York City to elect a socialist. Okay, this is now a couple of times they've done this, and so they're just going to try this again with the sort of the white flight down to Florida. It's almost impossible now for a Republican or even a well-meaning moderate Democrat to win the mayoral race of New York City. So all these things add to this stew and how to analyze this. Real troubling headwinds, though, for Republicans is that they did lose some downstream races in some state houses that were traditionally Republican that flipped Democrat. The Democrats are motivated, and the Republicans need to figure out the affordability issue for once and for all. And they need to figure out a way to message this that counterbalances we're going to give this stuff away for free, Tim. I mean, the average age of the first-time home buyer in the United States right now is 38 years old. That is a problem that has been decades in the making. It's not fair to President Trump that he has to solve it. But I have to add it to the list of things that he and his administration and this Congress needs to solve and needs to solve in a hurry, because they're going to continue to bleed young people if we cannot help provide a pathway to basic home ownership.
I looked at the results, and I actually wrote this down, a note to myself on Monday before Election Day, because it wasn't hard to figure out that the Democrats were going to win. And I wrote down that all the media, the Trump-hating media, will declare this is a huge victory for the Democrats. This proves the public hates Donald Trump, and so on.
Yeah.
So before the election even happened, I knew that would occur. And as I look at this, you know what? Virginia went for Kamala Harris by 6 points.
Right.
New Jersey went for Kamala Harris by 6 points. New York City is like 44% registered Democrat, and I want to say it's 22 or 23% registered Republican. So no Republican is ever going to win there. The rest are all independents. And so what it means is Democrats voted for the socialist candidate, and then 6 or 7% vote of the rest of the people voted for Mondami. So there's no surprise in any of these races. In California, Trump lost by 20 points last time around. There's literally twice as many Democrats as there are Republicans. So the idea that the Democrats in California would vote to increase the likelihood of Democrats holding office shouldn't surprise anybody. Yeah. This is a stroke of genius by Newsom out there. And so none of this is surprising. None of this repudiates Donald Trump. None of this indicates anything other than more of the same. And when I heard different talking heads, I was on one of the television networks the other night having this discussion, and they said, well, yes, But Winsome Sears lost by 13 points and Harris only won by 6. And I said, yes, that's because Sears is no Trump.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
She's not Donald Trump. Trump didn't endorse her. Trump was not impressed by her. She ran a lousy campaign. She's not a great candidate. Sometimes a party, either Democrat or Republican, just has a bad candidate.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I've never met her, but she wasn't a good candidate. And so that no one should be shocked by any of this. What I see is a continuation. The Democrats voted in all of those places a year ago. When the country voted overwhelmingly for Trump, Democrats voted in each of these areas this past week. They voted in favor of Harris. So they're just doing the same thing they did a year ago. This is not a repudiation of the presidency. And I asked, when I was on the network the other night, I asked someone who was saying, no, clearly they don't like his policies. And I said, which policies do they dislike? Do they dislike the fact that there are now 0 illegal immigrants coming in every month instead of tens of thousands? They would prefer tens of thousands of people streaming across the border. Is it they would prefer 9% inflation instead of 2.5% inflation? Is it they would prefer 1% growth, or even, I believe in one year in Biden's, they were down below 0. So as opposed to 3% growth, which of these policies is it that they wish they had back? Because none of those are what I see a public upset by. I think your point of affordability is accurate, but I also think the president was accurate in the aftermath. He said the Republicans didn't do a very good job talking about that. And I think when you talk about the price of eggs are lower, the price of gas is lower. When you talk about those things, you got to feel it. You and I go to the grocery store. It is expensive. You do use, but is it better than it was a year ago? It's a fair question. So they've got to harness their message better than they did, but I don't think they're struggling to get a message. I just don't think they delivered it in Democrat-driven states.
Yeah, the idea that MAGA has been repudiated is silly. These 3 localities, New York City, New Jersey, and Virginia, have repudiated Donald Trump 3 times now, 4 times now, 5 times now. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing, cycle after cycle after cycle. These states don't like him. Okay, got it. I'm old enough to remember, conservative knuckleheads like myself who have scolded Republicans, they're never going to win if they're Democrat light. Well, apparently you're never going to win as a Democrat if you're Democrat light, because you've got to get like way off into the deep end here and offer everything for free. I mean, I kind of call McDonald's, right? It's almost like a 6th grade student council election. Okay, the kid that always wins that race is the kid at the end of the line who says, "I'm going to go to the principal's office and tell him to give us free McDonald's at the end of the week." Yay, you're in.
Right? Absolutely. When I was in junior high school, there was a kid who said, I'm going to deliver Coca-Cola from all the drinking fountains.
Right.
Everybody knew it couldn't happen, but they loved that line.
Absolutely.
And he won the election.
It's so silly, and it doesn't work, and it's not going to. I don't actually think he's going to stick around for very long. If I'm Mondami, why am I ceding that Senate race to AOC? Right, it's that Somali captain movie. Like, I'm the captain now. Okay, he's the one who won. The big enchilada, the mayoral race. She's just a representative within his operation. If I'm him, I'm seriously considering giving Schumer a run for his money, because why? It's almost like Obama. Like, between Kamala and Biden and Obama, the Democrats have 3 straight nominees that have really no accomplishments at all on their resume, no experience whatsoever at all on their resume, and yet they'll nominate someone with no experience and no resume. If I'm Mondami, I'm thinking 2028 is my shot, right? I'm riding high. Why sit around New York City and destroy it? Why not just he's a great campaigner, I'll give him that much, right? When you're promising free things, it's pretty easy. But I think he's going to give the top job a run for its money. And if not that, go after Chuck Schumer's job and make AOC fend for something else. But
I think you're spot on, because what you heard in his victory speech was not, hey, New York, it's all about us. It was anti-Trump.
Right.
Trump's doing this to us. Trump's
Exactly.
doing that to us. He's talking a national message. I think you're spot on.
Exactly right. And now, look, the president and the Republican Party need to figure out this issue on young people and home ownership. I really just can't emphasize that enough. This is why, unfortunately, I think some young white males are paying attention to the grievance peddling of folks like Nick Fuentes, because there's just no answer for them to upgrade their lives personally and professionally. They're stuck in homes that they're just rentals from here until as far as they can see down. There's no motivation to have children. They can't afford them. They can't afford to have a child. They can't afford to put a roof on your head. And if you're a male, there's that natural instinct that you want to own the roof over your head. And the idea that you can't own something of your own tangibly until you're in your late 30s is ridiculous in the United States of America. And I really would encourage the Republican Party to get into the field and help solve that. Just one last thing. The day after the elections, Trump is in the East Room, or what's left of it anyway, having breakfast with all these old Republican senators. Get him out of the White House, okay? Put a hard hat on, sir, and go stand in front of something that's being built with the tariff money that you are winning with. Okay, if I can give you any bit of advice, go be in front of something that's being built, not stand in front of something that's rubble with a bunch of politicians that are not doing anything right now because of the shutdown. So get out there and see the country, kiss a baby, go see some construction workers. He's good at it, and I think it would help him in both short term and long run.
For America, he is Dave Bozell. I'm Tim Constantine. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.